mastering your schedule, or better known as time management. Now, I'll admit this is something I still struggle with from time to time. I don't care how well we plan our weeks and how well we plan our days and our lives, things just happen. So, understanding time management. Time management is the planning process and the exercise of focusing on the time that you spend on an activity. For time management, you have to understand what your priorities are. You have to understand what your most important tasks are. Also, create a task list. I am the queen of lists. The only thing that I'm finding now as I am getting into a more seasoned period of my life is I sometimes forget the list. So I've started to do the list more on my phone than on with pen and paper, but definitely create a task list. Make a list of all the things that you have to do, both urgent and important, and then categorize them. Schedule your time. So one of the methods I like a lot is time blocking. We're going to get into that in just a moment, but block time on your calendar to take care of those top priorities. And then lastly, review and adjust. Any of these tips that I'm giving you, you always need to review and adjust. When you set something out, doesn't mean that you can't go back and change it, that it can't be updated or revised. So I always say regularly review your task list and schedule. All right, time blocking. I actually love this. So what is time blocking? Time blocking is a technique where you divide your day into specific time spots. What I found years ago with my calendar was the more time that I had, the more time actually that I wasted. And that's actually called the Parkinson's law. So I started using time blocking to block time on my calendar to get specific tasks completed. So the benefits of time blocking, it can help you increase productivity, you reduce distractions, and you ensure that you're dedicating time to your most important task. Another thing it does for you is how to implement time blocking. I'm going to show you a schedule here in a moment, but you start by identifying your most important tasks and priorities, and then you just block a set amount of time on your calendar to work on them. And some of them, you can work on them and complete them in one block. Others, you may have to have multiple blocks of time across a series of days or weeks, but blocking the time and allocating it to that activity helps to keep you on track. Prioritizing tasks also, when creating your time blocks, make sure you're not just doing the easy stuff. You need to make sure that you're doing the things that are important, okay, and that have deadlines. And then lastly, review and adjust. With anything, like I've said before, that's going to be a theme here, time blocking, you should also review and adjust. And so here's an example of a calendar where they're using time blocking, okay? And so you'll see every morning on their calendar, Monday through Friday, they have it blocked for breakfast. Next hour, they have it blocked for their travel and their commute and possibly even some exercise. But then this is where we see things change. On Monday mornings, the first thing they do is follow up on emails for 2 hours. Okay, the time is blocked. Then they have a block for calls. And then you see they've got this lunch break blocked for the entire week. Then they go back to more calls. Then they've got a break that they've built in. One thing I found also with calendars, if you don't make time for breaks, people will book your calendar and people will time block for you. So if you have actual work to do and you can't be filled up with meetings all day, time blocking is a great way to make sure that you're carving out time to get your work done.